two United States of America-based civil society organizations, CSOs, Rising Sun Foundation and Ambassadors for Self-Determination, have demanded that Igbo leaders in Nigeria and the diaspora rise in unity for the release of the detained Igbo nation agitator, Nnamdi Kanu, and for the future of the Igbo people. This is as the two groups acknowledge that the Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led presidency is gradually shifting toward the request of the Igbo people for Kanu's release from incarceration. In a statement on Monday in Abuja, the CSOs said that the Igbo nation and beyond should no longer remain silent, as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu endures the unbearable conditions of detention in Nigeria's Directorate of State Security Services, DSS. The statement was jointly signed by Chief Maxwell Dede Emole, Induru Chebe Oha, Abiriba, and Dr. Remy Okea on behalf of Rising Sun Foundation Inc. USA, as well as Engras, Evans Nwankwo, and Benjamin Nwankwo, for Ambassadors for Self-Determination. The group said that as Kanu marks months of unjust incarceration, it is imperative that Igbo leaders amplify their voices against the violation of his rights, especially in light of several court orders demanding his unconditional release. The statement partly read, "In the face of profound injustice, we at the Rising Sun Foundation, alongside other conscientious and freedom-loving citizens of the Igbo nation and beyond, can no longer remain silent as our distinguished leader, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, endures the unbearable conditions of detention in Nigeria's Directorate of State Security Services, DSS. As he marks months of unjust incarceration, it is imperative that we amplify our voices against this blatant violation of his rights, especially in light of several court orders demanding his unconditional release." The Nigerian government, under President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, has recently shown signs of a potential shift toward dialogue regarding Kanu's release. This is a notable contrast to the treatment of other political detainees such as Chief Sunday Igboho of the Yoruba Nation, Omoyele Sowore of the Revolution Now movement, and even Bello Bodejo, the leader of the controversial Miyetti Allah Kyautal Hor. These figures have been released and their legal cases dismissed, raising serious questions about the selective application of justice in Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains the sole political prisoner among them, a situation that is not only perplexing but also indicative of deeper systemic issues within the Nigerian political landscape. The reluctance of our own political leaders, particularly the governors, and those aligned with Ohanaeze Ndi Igbo, to advocate for Kanu's freedom is deeply troubling. Their actions reflect a disheartening trend of prioritizing personal political ambitions over the collective welfare of the Igbo people. In public, they may call for his release, yet behind closed doors, they engage in negotiations that ensure his continued imprisonment. This duplicitous behavior encapsulates the phrase Maramara Nihu, Gwampiti Nazu, highlighting their tendency to play both sides for their gain. As we reflect on the last 30 months, we must recognize that time is of the essence. The world is transforming at a rapid pace, driven by technological advancements in the internet and artificial intelligence, and we must not allow our people to be left behind. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's detention is not merely a personal tragedy, it represents a broader struggle for the Igbo nation's identity and future. He has become a symbol of resistance against the marginalization and oppression that we, as a people, have faced for decades. To reiterate my previous sentiments, as long as Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains imprisoned, the entire Igbo nation is held captive. This reality cannot persist indefinitely. The call for his release is not just a plea for one man's freedom. It is a rallying cry for the liberation of our entire people from systemic oppression and neglect. We must pray for Kanu's health and safety, for the consequences of his continued detention could be dire for our collective future. The Igbo people are inherently peaceful and progressive. Yet, the hostile environment created by the Nigerian state has compelled us into a struggle for survival. It is a time that demands unity, the setting aside of selfish interests for the greater good of our community. This is not merely a matter of belief. It is an urgent reality that calls for collective action and sacrifice. Our quest for freedom resonates with the historical struggles faced by other oppressed groups around the world. Just as it took immense sacrifices for African Americans to secure their civil rights and for South Africans to dismantle the apartheid regime, We too must be prepared to fight for our liberation, whether within the Nigerian state or as a self-determined entity. We urge all members of our community, masses, politicians, governors, lawmakers, traditional rulers, and leaders of thought, especially within Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, to unite in this crucial moment. We must confront the challenges we face with solidarity and resilience. Together, we can overcome any adversary and achieve the heights of recognition and autonomy that we rightfully deserve. Our message is clear. We must insist that the Nigerian authorities adhere to the directives of the United Nations Human Rights Council, respect the rulings of our courts, and respond to the moral imperatives of justice by releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu without delay. The time is ticking, and we are sitting on a powder keg of potential unrest. The urgency of our situation calls for immediate action, as the fuse is growing shorter by the day. We are confident that if we can close ranks and present a united front, we will see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu back among us, heralding a new era for the Igbo people, a time marked by freedom, dignity, and progress. The statement said, Nnamdi Kanu's lead counsel, Aloy Ejimakor, accuses Southeast governors of inaction, as group in US pushes for Kanu's freedom. Aloy Ejimakor Esquire, the special counsel to the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has expressed disappointment with the Southeast governors over their inaction to see that Kanu is released from the DSS detention since June 2021. The lawyer said the governors appeared trustworthy in July 2024 when he said they publicly promised to meet with President Bola Tinubu on the release of Kanu. He noted that 6 months later, the governors were yet to redeem that promise. He reminded them that a promise is a debt, adding that the Southeast yearned for a prompt end to the insecurity in the zone. Ejimakor said the governors owed the Southeast a debt 6 months after failing to fulfill their promise to push for Kanu's release and end insecurity in the region. Meanwhile, a group of Igbo in the United States has united for the release of Kanu. According to Mr. Ejimakor, a statement by the group calling for the release of Kanu was jointly signed by Chief Maxwell Dide Emole, Nduru Chebe Oha, and Dr. Remy Okea on behalf of Rising Sun Foundation Inc. USA, as well as Ingris, Evans Nwankwo, and Benjamin Nwankwo, for ambassadors for self-determination. Stay tuned for more updates, stay safe, and have a blessed day.